Now, live, this is the Ganley Auto Group Sports Report on 19 Action News.
If you checked out Wikipedia at around 4 o'clock this afternoon, you would have seen that Bill Musgrave is the new coordinator of your Cleveland Browns. Except he isn't. Somebody jumped the gun, because whatever the Vikings said to him when he got up there, and I'm sure it had something to do with calling the plays, obviously that changed his mind, because tonight he's their offensive coordinator. As for the D coordinator, Dick Duron went back to Philly. Dave Wannstedt comes in tomorrow. Stay tuned. Things, as you can see, happening and changing quickly. Cavaliers, what more can you say? I mean, anything else that I say is like piling on. I mean, Byron Scott threatened to bench him. If they don't start D'ing up, then they go out and play like this. Goran Dragic, I mean, look at Byron's reaction. It says it all. They're down 16 at the half. Fourth quarter, they come alive. They hold the Suns to 16 points. Jamison had a big night, but they just did not have enough. 106-98, 14th straight loss, 24th in the last 25 games. Buckeyes, on the other hand, are number one in the nation for a reason. Ask the Hawkeyes, who were destroyed tonight. Jared Sullinger spins his way to 13. David Lighty threw down a game-high 18. Break out the abacus. Buckeyes by 22, 70-48. Watch this dunk. Kent State and Buffalo, and yikes, Mitchell Watt on the break. Now the bad news, he plays for the other guys. 79-54, Flashes fall by 25. How about Venus Williams giving Down Under a whole new meaning at the Australian Open?
Here, listen.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about, the outfit. As for the pain, she said it was a groin injury, sent her to the locker room and interrupted the match with Sandra Zalavova. That's not easy for me to say. But Venus comes back out, screams through the final 2 sets, and wins, moving on to round 3. And back here at home, you know, the hottest team in town is our Lake Erie Monsters. They have won 4 straight. In fact, they're so happy, they don't even have to do this. Drop the gloves. But whenever you can get the enforcer, Patrick Bordelot, in studio, as I did on Sports Extra, there's only one thing you can do. Here we go. I'm in blue.
All right, let's go.
You're too young to remember this game. Come on. Oh!
There you go. One punch.
One punch?
Yeah.
The whole key right there was one punch, and as they say in Rock 'em Sock 'em, you knocked his block off.
Yeah, it's Ben Holden, the voice of the Monsters, and
Your
yeah,
teeth, okay?
I'm all right. Okay.
We'll be right back.
Fake.
And better.
I like the poise that he showed. I liked even taking a couple of the sacks instead of forcing the ball in, like maybe another quarterback would have done it, taking another pick right there. Obviously, without a couple of weapons here, he loses Josh Cribbs, as I said, in the second quarter. Early in the second quarter, this is your number one weapon right there. Second half, Mohamed Massaquoi takes a shot, and he was done rattled as well. Let's get to the highlights here, though, because you can look at the good, but there was plenty of bad, too, and you can't make these mistakes against the Steelers. His first play as an NFL quarterback, they come out throwing 8 yards to Robisky. Good to see that. 5 plays later, McCoy to Evan Moore, 19 yards. So, as Bob said, he was on target. But 2 plays later, it's deflected, and Ryan Clark of the Steelers will pick it, the first of 2 picks. The second pick way late in the game. So, really, you could almost call this a one-pick day for Colt McCoy, at least when the game was still in doubt. The Browns return the favor, though. Fellow rookie Joe Hayden is going to pick off Roethlisberger at his own 4, and showing the ways of a true return man, he's going to weave his way 61 yards all the way back to the Steeler 35-yard line. So, guys, Joe Hayden making an impact. I thought he looked phenomenal on that play right there. I'm going to get to Phil Dawson here, would cap off that drive right there with a field goal. So Phil passing Luke Rosa as the Browns' all-time leader. Salute to Phil Dawson, class act, and has been with us for a while. 3-0 into the second quarter. Ben to Mike Wallace, beats Eric Wright with a floater there. 29 yards, 7-3 Steelers. 9 minutes left in the half. We showed you this. Cribbs, here's a slow-mo. They did not call helmet to helmet, but he might get fined for that. But more importantly, Josh Cribbs was down, and he was out.
Tony Zarrella is live at noon in Berea with more on the game. Tony.
Yeah, Catherine, and the day after you think, well, fans are breathing a sigh of relief. Not exactly. My BlackBerry has been blowing up with tweets and emails and text messages. Nobody's happy about this, and specifically Jake Delhomme. And let's cut to the core here, because Peyton Hillis was a monster once again, and he racks up another $131 and the 3 touchdowns, and literally runs over Charles Godfrey on that touchdown. They were up 21-7, but early second half, Jake with 2 picks on 2 throws, including the one for the pick 6. All of a sudden, the worst team in football ball. The Carolina Panthers not only back in the game, they're rallying and down the stretch with a chance to win it until John Casey misses the field goal. So the Browns survive, but at least one player not exactly celebrating. Listen to Sheldon Brown.
Disappointed still. I thought we didn't execute at all today. I thought we should have had a killer instinct when we had control of the game early, and then it comes down to that. The sign of a championship team is understanding, your opponent, and when you have a killer mentality, you attack and you don't let it become a situation like that.
All right, Sheldon Brown, who of course played for the Philadelphia Eagles and had great expectations and didn't want to play games like this where you play down to the level of your competition. They still have a quarterback issue here, even if Colt McCoy is injured. Why aren't they playing Seneca Wallace? We're going to ask Eric Mangini that coming up in just a bit, and we'll have it for you first at 4. Live at Browns headquarters, I'm Tony Zarrella, 19 Action News.
Sports director Tony Zarrella kicks things off live at the Q.
Denise, we're still 2 hours away here from game time, the Cavaliers and the Heat, and we're 30 minutes away from fans entering this building, and that's when we'll get the true barometer of how he will be received, of course. LeBron is on the court behind me, came out about 25 minutes ago and started warming up and, well, taking the jumpers. And the fans may not be in here, but as you're about to see here as we pan this media crowd, he's certainly not lonely. There's multiple media members swarming the Q. This not only feels like a playoff game, this feels like Game 7 of the NBA Finals. No word on if LeBron will be talking with us before the game. I'm not sure he will. I'm not sure he wants to invite the same questions that he's going to face, obviously, after the game, and just check out what he had to say last night when, of course, down in Miami, he was asked if he regrets the decision.
I've answered that question numerous times, and you being a reporter, I think you heard my answer before. So, and you learn from decisions that you make. And there's always pros and cons with any decision that you make. But I'm happy here. I stated that if I could have done it a little different, I may have.
And LeBron, of course, not the only former Cav in the building. Zadrunas Ilgauskas making the rounds, going down, talking right now to Anthony Parker. And obviously he'll be talking with other former teammates as well. Much more coming up in sports in just a bit as we hear from the Cavaliers on what is already a surreal night. And we're 2 hours away. Live at the Q, I'm Tony Zarrella, 19 Action News.